He would have spoken, but his voice failed him. "Oh, father," said she, clasping her hands, "forgive your child for being the bearer of evil tidings." Morel again changed color. Julie threw herself into his arms. "Oh, father, father," murmured she, "courage." "The Pharaoh has gone down, then?" said Morel in a hoarse voice. The young girl did not speak, but she made an affirmative sign with her head as she lay on her father's breast. "And the crew?" asked Morel. "Saved," said the girl, "saved by the crew of the vessel that has just entered the harbor." Morel raised his two hands to heaven with an expression of resignation and sublime gratitude. "Thanks, my God," said he, "at least thou strikest but me alone." A tear moistened the eye of the phlegmatic Englishman. come in," said Morel, "for I presume you are all at the door." Scarcely had he uttered those words than Madame Morel entered weeping bitterly. Emmanuel followed her, and in the antechamber were visible the rough faces of 7 or 8 half-naked sailors. At the sight of these men the Englishman started and advanced a step, then restrained himself, and retired into the farthest and most obscure corner of the apartment. Madame Morel sat down by her husband and took one of his hands in hers. Julie still lay with her head on his shoulder. Emmanuel stood in the center of the chamber and seemed to form the link between Morel's family and the sailors at the door. "How did this happen?" said Morel. "Draw nearer, Penelon," said the young man, "and tell us all about it." An old seaman, bronzed by the tropical sun, advanced, twirling the remains of a tarpaulin between his hands. "Good day, M. Morel," said he, as if he had just quitted Marseille the previous evening, and had just returned from Aix or Toulon. "Good day, Penelon," returned Morel, who could not refrain from smiling through his tears. "Where is the captain?" "The captain, M. Morel, he has stayed behind sick at Palma, but please God, it won't be much, and you will see him in a few days all alive and hearty." "Well, now tell your story, Penelon." Penelon rolled his quid in his cheek, placed his hand before his mouth, turned his head, and sent a long jet of tobacco juice into the antechamber, advanced his foot, balanced himself, and began, "You see, M. Morel," said he, "we were somewhere between Cape Blanc and Cape Boyador, sailing with a fair breeze, south-southwest after a week's calm, when Captain Gomard comes up to me, I was at the helm I should tell you, and says, 'Penelon, what do you think of those clouds coming up over there?' I was just then looking at them myself. 'What do I think, Captain?' 'Why, I think that they are rising faster than they have any business to do, and that they would not be so black if they didn't mean mischief. That's my opinion too,' said the captain, 'and I'll take precautions accordingly.' We are carrying too much canvas. Avast, there, all hands. Take in the studding SLs and stow the flying jib. It was time, the squall was on us, and the vessel began to heel. "Ah," said the captain, "we have still too much canvas set, all hands lower the mainsail." "5 minutes after, it was down, and we sailed under mizzen topsails and topgallant sails. "Well, Penelon," said the captain, "what makes you shake your head?" "Why," I says, "I still think you've got too much on." "I think you're right," answered he, "we shall have a gale." "A gale?" "More than that, we shall have a tempest, or I don't know what's what." You could see the wind coming like the dust at Montreaton. Luckily the captain understood his business. "Take in 2 reefs in the topsails," cried the captain, "let go the bowlines, haul the brace, lower the topgallant sails, haul out the reef tackles on the yards." "That was not enough for those latitudes," said the Englishman, "I should have taken 4 reefs in the topsails and furled the spanker." His firm, sonorous, and unexpected voice made every one start. Penelon put his hand over his eyes, and then stared at the man who thus criticized the maneuvers of his captain. "We did better than that, sir," said the old sailor respectfully. "We put the helm up to run before the tempest, 10 minutes after we struck our topsails and scudded under bare poles." "The vessel was very old to risk that," said the Englishman. It was that did the business. After pitching heavily for 12 hours we sprung a leak." Penelon, said the captain, I think we are sinking, give me the helm, and go down into the hold. I gave him the helm, and descended. There was already 3 feet of water. All hands to the pumps. I shouted, but it was too late, and it seemed the more we pumped the more came in. Ah, said I, after 4 hours' work, since we are sinking, let us sink, we can die but once. That's the example you set, Penelon, cries the captain. Very well, wait a minute. He went into his cabin and came back with a brace of pistols. I will blow the brains out of the first man who leaves the pump, said he. Well done, said the Englishman. There's nothing gives you so much courage as good reasons, continued the sailor, and during that time the wind had abated, and the sea gone down, but the water kept rising, not much, only 2 inches an hour, but still it rose. "2 inches an hour does not seem much, but in 12 hours that makes 2 feet, and 3 we had before, that makes 5. Come, said the captain, we have done all in our power, and M. Morel will have nothing to reproach us with. We have tried to save the ship, let us now save ourselves. To the boats, my lads, as quick as you can. Now, continued Penelon, you see, M. Morel, a sailor is attached to his ship, but still more to his life, so we did not wait to be told twice, the more so, that the ship was sinking under us, and seemed to say, get along, save yourselves,